Firstly, my husband, 22, female, also 37 weeks, 3 days pregnant. And I want to move away from my parents like my brother, 24 male, and his wife, 25 female, did after we found out my parents' secret. Well, when my brother moved out of state, my parents were really upset and hurt and blamed his wife. And unfortunately, I was like 19, so I was just moved out. And I guess I wasn't mature enough to think for myself, and I didn't talk to my brother for like 3 years until recently when I reconnected with them and they visited our parents. Let me not lie, my parents all but forced me to reconnect with him, and I'm so glad I did because he and his wife have been the biggest help during my pregnancy. Again, all of this is relevant, I promise. Well, I recently came out with my rules and boundaries for seeing my baby because he can be born any day now. My dad started a huge argument with me about it, and my husband stepped in so I didn't stress out. Well, my dad took that as a free-for-all and said some really crazy mean things to him, so we cut contact with him and my mom so that we could focus on me and the baby. Well, my brother and I, since reconnecting, have FaceTimed every day. Yesterday morning, he seemed off like he had a secret to tell me. He let me get out of my usual antics and then said, "Can I talk to you about something?" And OFC, I said, "Yeah, I feel good. I can handle a little BS thinking this was going up B, about my dad and mom being upset with me." He then goes on to ask me if I remember growing up with a girl named S, and I do remember the name, but not much other stuff. He said she's been trying to reconnect with us since we moved away and saw us on social media. He told mom and dad when it first happened, and they told him to block her and to never mention her again. He thought that was so wild, but their explanation was that she tried to hurt us as kids, and she had to leave, and she was apparently my dad, goddaughter. Well, he then goes on to explain that she reached out again, and BC, he's a dad, and married now, it couldn't hurt to talk to her now. Well, he said she hinted that we were related, and they kind of caught up, and he said it seemed like they had a connection. So we set up a 3-way FaceTime call. When she picked up the phone, she had the spitting image of my mom's nose and smile. I tried to break the ice, but we all agreed to just get on with all the awkward questions. So she pulls out a photo album and her birth certificate, and sure enough, she's our half-sister. She has more photos of our childhood, my brother and I combined, and it seemed like everything we were told about our grandparents on my mom's side could have been a lie. My parents abandoned her and kicked her out when she was 10 years old. S went on to tell us that she was always told to go to her room and that she was always in her room for the majority of her childhood. So that upset mom, and she packed up all of S's stuff and called her ungrateful and left all her things at the side of the road for her dad to pick up. That was the last time we saw her, and she has tried to call mom, and she refused to talk to her. She had to go after explaining all this. BC, she had guests coming over. My brother and I stayed on the phone for a while, and he drank, and we cried for a little. I'm not sure what to do or if I tell them that I know. The crazy part is that I feel like the mom she described is a different person entirely. The crazy part was that mom and dad got mad at me and told me that they wanted me to reconnect with my brother Beak, he's family, and we always forgive family. The hypocrisy. I'm also angry that they named me after her and yet never told us the truth about her. Her middle name is my first name. I feel like I need 100 showers, but please tell me, what do I do? Small update. Firstly, let me thank you all for your advice and comments. I wasn't really expecting anything to come of this. Well, here's what has happened so far, and to answer some of your questions. Yes, we confirmed that she is related. We FaceTimed her, and she had her original birth certificate and 23andMe tree results. That was wild to look at. No, my mom didn't have an affair. It turns out that S was the result of her last relationship before my dad. S was even in my parents' wedding photos and everything. The three of us have talked every day, asked questions, and really gotten to know each other. We got to meet S's beautiful child and see family photos of all of us together. My brother and I decided he's going to reach out to others on mom's side, members we weren't allowed to talk to, like her parents and others, to get their side of what happened. So, my brother is basically going to play Sherlock for me while I focus on my hubby and my baby. I really look forward to hearing about all the personalities in our family tree.